Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the new moon reading for the sign of Cancer, water element of Cancer. I've already been meditating and shuffling your cards, so just going to go through here and pull out your spirit animal. How are you lovely Cancers doing today? It's June 3rd, it's the new moon for the month of June. I'll be doing the full moon readings on the 17th. Alright, so checking in with our Cancers for this new moon. This is over the next 4 weeks, next 28 days, new moon to new moon. And new moons are all about seeds being sown, new beginnings, right? Starting, projects. It's like the beginnings of projects, new jobs, starting on a new vision, a new journey. So we want to see what's your animal spirit for this new moon period. For our lovely Cancers, show me. All right, Cancer. Your animal spirit for this next 4 weeks is the swan. How beautiful. Wow, the swan. Beautiful love energy, water, element of water. Beautiful, beautiful energy. You're in love. The swan just represents lifelong partnerships. Swans made for life, right? Very romantic energy. Very graceful, beautiful, romantic. I want to say Venus energy, beautiful, beautiful card. So, looks like love, partnerships, wanting to be in a union together, right? Could be new love. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Certainly could be a new love, a new endearing love, a soulmate kind of energy coming in. Beautiful card, Swan. So give us a reading for the new moon season for our lovely Cancer signs, June 3rd, for the next 28 days, new moon to new moon. Give us a clear reading of what they have to look for. This is a general reading. It's mostly talking about and focusing on new beginnings, starts of new journeys, alright, new relationships, etc. See what's going on with you Cancers. This one flips over. Wow, Ace of Cups in the center. Beautiful. It is all about love. Oh, and the High Priestess. So let's get Swan out. Keep her here there. All right. Beautiful. Oh, my God, Cancer. And what do we have at the bottom of the deck? 4 of Wands. Oh, my God. It's like I'm getting goosebumps, right? So this is definitely new relationship, right? New relationship. Long-term, enduring. This is, once in a lifetime kind of relationships, right? Relationship that brings with it a promise of stability, endurance, longevity, right? So at the center, you have Ace of Cups. So there's definitely a new love coming for you, Cancer. This season is all about love. This new moon in June, starting today, June 3rd, is all about love. All right, and covering it, you have the High Priestess, which is beautiful, beautiful. Psychic energy, spiritual energy, right? Psychic connections. This love is coming through. This new love is coming through for you, and it's also feeling extremely spiritual for you. It's making you feel like as if it's almost magical. Everything's, when this love arrives, if it hasn't already, it's going to feel like every single thing is, fitting into place. It's as if like everything was meant to be. You're going to understand how this love came to be, some of your past is gonna, it's like you're gonna understand how you got to this point. Whereas before, some things may not have been so clear. High Priestess is very deep, wise energy. She's able to see the past, present, and future. So that's why I'm saying that when this love comes through, it's almost as if you're going to be able to finally understand why certain things in your life have gone the way they've gone, why you are the way you are, why you know what I mean? It's like almost as if like one of those kind of like, if this hadn't happened and this hadn't happened and this hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. Like all of this was meant to happen the way it was supposed to be meant to happen, because this love that's coming in, this connection, this new connection, is so like fateful. It's so like gives you this feeling of such a meant to be soulmate energy, that it's like it's almost as if your whole life has been leading up to that point. Your whole life has been leading up to that point, meeting that person. It's very, very strong, especially with Swan being your animal spirit for this month. Yes, a long journey, 10 of Wands. So it's been a long journey for you. You've had a lot of changes. Completion, right? So you're definitely feeling very, very ready, very complete. It's going to feel like it's been a long struggle, but worth it. Yes, there's been heartache along the way. 3 of Swords. Yeah. So 3 of Swords. Yeah, you've been wallowing in some heartache for a little while, perhaps. Underneath of it, you might be feeling a little bit pessimistic about all of this, right? I'm saying this, and you might be saying, this isn't going to happen for me. Everything, my relationships always suck. This is very pessimistic, hurtful love energy, 3 of Swords. It's in the mind, a lot of it. It's not a heartbroken heart energy as such. Like, it's not a Cups card, it's a Sword. So it's very much like a negative... negative thinking, wallowing kind of in the pain of past relationships that haven't worked out. And also just most recently, you've really come out of kind of a period of feeling very kind of like dejected. You're almost feeling almost like a little bit like the victim. Things don't work out for me. I think Cancer, this particular reading is for a Cancer, has been quite negative recently. But don't worry, it's getting good. It's just, this is the energy that's in the past, right? This is the energy that you're just passing now. And 8 of Swords is kind of like that, oh, look at me, I'm in danger. But the truth of the matter is you're not really in danger. It's you. You put yourself in these situations, right? It's only you who restrict yourself. It's only you who put limitations on yourself, or who push boundaries, or test limits that, you are your own worst critic, your own worst enemy. You're the one who puts yourself in dangerous situations, and all you have to do is just kind of like take responsibility for it, So 8 of Swords is the victim card, and it may just be because you've had some bad relationships. You just feel like that. Some people, you're allowed to feel like that. I don't think, it's not a judgment call at all. I certainly have. I know this energy because I felt like that before. I know what that feels like, that feeling of, somewhere in your heart that it's like part of it is your own fault, but you just feel kind of like put upon by everyone. Like, all right. But you're coming out of it. 3 of Wands. You have a lot of threes. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, 3 is the union of 2 and 1. It's the coming together. It's the bonding. It's the loyalty, right? 3s talk about loyalty. It talks about bonding with like-minded individuals, when you bond in groups or societies, right? Social groupings and things like that, right? 3 is also about crossing the point of no return. Talks about indulging, right? Loyalty and bonding brings you together, but then there's that kind of extreme, which is indulging or going to extremes, right? 3 being the Empress talks about indulging, and then 13 being death, which is the ultimate extreme. It's the ultimate point beyond there is no return, a death, a change, a complete transformation. So you've got this going on right here. It's all, I think it is all about right now, dealing with that. Yes, dealing with uh, reviewing, your past in a way, um, reviewing some of your loyalties, right? Reviewing some of the relationships you've had, that you've been that ended up hurting you because the bond was broken, the loyalty was broken, right? This is why this Three of Swords is kind of like a painful card, because it talks about broken loyalties. A lot of people call this third party energy, cheating energy, when you're in a relationship and somebody cheats on you, right? So, this is a lot of times, some especially in wands and swords, some of the energies can be quite discordant. So the Three of Swords talks about the break in loyalty, backstabbing, cheating. Where there was trust, there's a break in trust. you know and so this is like you're under energy. Interestingly enough, now here we come up here to the Three of Wands, and up here the Three of Wands is more talking about moving toward bonding, moving toward loyalty, moving toward growth, right? She's looking at the Three Wands there, and it's like she's surveying how well are they growing. Have I tended to them correctly? Have I given them amount? It's it's the care that you show when you're loyal. Here, the loyalty, the bonding is to a task, the task of growing the garden, growing the seeds she's sown, right? The seeds can be the seeds of any kind of goals, right? Or visions that you've put in place, right? And so you've sown these seeds and you've watched your vision grow, or you've worked towards your goal, right? And along the way, you're surveying to make sure that it's growing right. You're paying enough attention to it. You're being virtuous. Three of Wands is the card of virtue as well. Okay, it's confidence, paying attention, showing security, showing confidence that you have what it takes to accomplish your task. But that confidence comes from paying attention, being caring, right? Being loyal to the task, in a sense, right? Committed. So you have that energy there coming with you, certainly, in terms of like when you're putting your mind towards something that you feel passionate about, you're going to work towards it. You're going to work towards it in the right way. And even though you've been hurt with this three down here, this is kind of your subconscious energy that's, like, you can't help but feel like this. But here in your very conscious energy, you're very consciously trying to stay the course, be patient, keep your confidence up. You know what I mean? Remain virtuous, not let this heartbreak bring you down. You know what I mean? And swan energy is that kind of energy as well. Swan energy is also confident, virtuous, honest, kind of energy, pure energy. But certainly virtuous energy, patient. Swans are very, graceful, patient waterfowl, right? So you're consciously trying to do that right now. And here's Temperance, beautiful, the 14. So stability. You're consciously trying to gain stability within yourself, stability over yourself. Again, talking about tempering your emotions, using patience and wisdom, right? Understanding for yourself and all your different sides, and understanding how to balance out your different attributes and traits so that you can be kind of the best version of yourself. 14, Temperance talks about having dominion of yourself, being the Lord and Shepherd of your own actions and soul. Whereas the first four is the Emperor. He's kind of the Lord over other men, over a kingdom. He leads other men. Whereas Temperance is all about leading yourself with confidence, being confident, leading yourself in the proper way, down the proper path. Leading yourself in action so that you can always kind of like, exude the proper action in situations. You know, you temper yourself. And again, that's more of this energy that's here as well. This kind of confidence, Three of Wands, confidence in yourself and your abilities. Yeah, you're feeling really good, Cancer. I knew this. I know this card down here was at first a little, but this is just kind of past energy, okay? Remember what I'm saying here. This is more kind of like past energy, more like a nagging kind of hurt that's still kind of in the back of your mind, but you're going through this really lovely period here of calm, confidence, you know, and in comes the Knight of Swords. This could be your person coming in for you. Wanting to have a conversation. The Knight of Swords is brilliant, you know. He's the one, he's like sweeps you off your feet. He's really talkative. He's really kind of like loves to debate and go back and forth with you. You know what I mean? He's the air aspect of air. Knight of Swords is air aspect of air. So he's very quick, witty. He's, you know, he's up for anything. He's moving fast. Sometimes they can be flighty. Sometimes they can be a little bit eccentric, the Knight of Swords, right? But he's great. He's the great talker. He's, you know, usually quite tall. Can be a very tall person, Knight of Swords. So this is beautiful energy coming in. And he's kind of, you know, this is kind of the knight that if any knight is going to come in and sweep you off your feet, it's the Knight of Swords. Knight of Wands comes in so hard sometimes, you know. It's like sweeping you off your feet. He might just run you over inadvertently. But the Knight of Swords, he's the one who gallops along and swings out his hand and just swings you up onto the horse, you know, and yada, you know. That's like the image I have of this kind of character. Very chivalrous, very kind of like, and you know, this could be male, female, you know, as well. It's just that they're imbuing that kind of energy, you know, where they're very confident and they're confident in you and they want you to know it and they want to get to know you as well. The Knight of Swords is all about communication and making those connections with people. And sometimes he can also indicate an important message coming through, but that depends on the spread. Here, I believe this is your person. This is your lover, right? This is the new love, the new Ace of Cups. He's the one who's going to be bringing this towards you. And then here you have Judgment, right? So Judgment is like kind of, it's great. Judgment is also, it's the 20 in a major arcana. So it's the second completion, the second cycle in a major arcana, but it's also balance because it's the 2. So it's the second cycle. It's kind of seeing overall balance, right, as well. It's understanding the yin and yang that's in all of us. Understanding that, you know, we're only kind of like subject to our own judgment of our own selves. Only we can say if we've done the best that we can do. You know, it's a call to release guilt. Judgment is a call to release guilt. And a lot of times also it can be a call to see, you know, it's the wisdom, right? It's the wisdom that you gain when you can empathize with people. Where you no longer set yourself apart from other people. You're no longer throwing stones in glass houses. But you're more like empathizing with people. You're understanding. You're realizing we're all in the same boat. Literally, like they're all in the same kind of little area, you know, with the archangel kind of blowing down and, you know, and them laying themselves bare. In this particular deck, it all looks very kind of judgmental, right? And they look kind of sad. But I think, again, this is all like as a result of guilt. You know, you put yourself under guilt trips and you judge yourself and you deem, you know, we're our own worst critics sometimes, right? And really, if you're honest with yourself and if you stand up to yourself, the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror, about all your foibles and all your kind of like pluses and minuses, you know, guilt kind of begins to fade away. And that's where you learn empathy for others. You learn how to relate to others. You know, being able to relate to others begins with forgiveness of self. You can never relate to other people if you aren't willing to forgive your own transgressions. Once you forgive your own transgressions and you really, truly face up to them, first of all, accept them, but then also forgive them and forgive yourself, that is where you begin to empathize with other people who have been in your scenario, because you can understand how they feel. Those are the seeds of empathy. And ultimately the seeds of bonding and coming together, right? Here we have Five of Wands. Underneath of all of that, there has been some back and forth banter. This isn't nearly as serious as like the Five of Swords, but this is more like, if you can see that they're kind of all have sticks. They're like just, it's almost like a bunch of boys play fighting. No one's really getting hurt, but they're just back and forth, hitting each other. It's kind of a futile situation as well. It's kind of like a waste of time, energy, bickering energy, right? So beware of that. There is some of that as well coming in towards the end of the month. It can be that this could be with some of your friends, some of your social group. There could be a little bit of bickering going back and forth. It could be as well, a little hateration coming in for you, picking on you, especially if some of the people that you're dealing with, your social circle, sees this, this blossoming of love here. Knight of Swords with the Ace of Cups, There could be some hateration. Let's get your Thoth deck out, and we're going to get some clarity. This is a beautiful reading for you, Cancer. You got a really fun month of love coming up ahead. You're feeling really good. You're feeling very calm. You're not feeling fidgety or angsty or anything like that. This energy here is kind of deep in the back of your mind or your heart, I guess. It's not really dominating everything. Dominating everything is you just kind of coming to a point where you're feeling very calm and confident. It's the law of attraction as well, isn't it? You might be also feeling a lot more spiritual lately. Wanting to get more into your spiritual practice, which is also bringing you confidence. There's some clarity on these beautiful readings for Cancer. It's got Ace of Cups at the center of the reading. Show us what's going on for our lovely Cancers for this new moon reading for June 2019. Show me. Make it clear. All right, Cancer. Let's get into it. Let's clarify this beautiful love reading for your new moon. This beautiful beginning, new love. All right. Hermit at the bottom, 9. Interesting. 7 of Cups. Yeah, this comes up a lot lately. 8 of Discs, Prudence. That's perfect. I don't read the Thoth deck in reverse. Prince of Cups comes out right there to clarify the 3 of Wands. 5 of Swords, defeat. Remember, I was talking about that 5 of Swords here, right? 5 of Wands. Here's the 5 of Swords coming out. Princess of Swords coming out over on the Knight of Swords to clarify. Beautiful. And Knight of Swords coming out again to clarify in Judgment. Certainly, this person is coming in for you. This person is a very dynamic person. All right, Cancer. And 10 of Cups. Yes, people are hating. Ace of Wands, beginnings, passionate beginnings, divine beginnings, right? Ace of Wands. So, yeah, you came out of a long struggle. You've been quite solitary lately. It's been a long struggle for you in life. I think in general, some of you may have been coming out of long-term child support payments that finally have finished because the children have grown up. Or a job that you finally have been able to get away from because things have changed in your life. You no longer require that extra job, right? Or just, kind of ups and downs with relationships or with people, never really quite having relationships kind of last for any length of time, having to work extra hard, for projects that you wanted to get off the ground when others seemed like it was just working so easily for them. Those are the types of is that, I hope that's, yes, that's focusing. Those are the types of things I'm talking about, types of struggles, right? Struggles that kind of test our resolve and test our ability to go forward. You see what I'm saying? Let me hit this so this can definitely focus. Okay. So that's what, that's what I'm talking about. And so coming to a point when you come to Ten of Wands, it's almost, you're at a point in your life where those types of struggles are over, right? Something has happened, you've evolved, you've worked hard enough, or you've burned off, you've either closed some karmic loops or burned off some karmic energy, right? Or something has happened. Somehow it's like you've paid your dues or whatever, right? And now you're at a point where those types of struggles are no longer going to be a problem. And this is now where you're at, like, pushing through this last little bit to get to a new life. So clarifying that, you have the Hermit, and that's what I'm talking about. It's been a lot of those struggles, and you've been feeling very isolated recently and in your own head, right? Not in a bad way when I say in your own head, but more in a solitary, contemplative, meditative way, right? Sometimes it's this kind of like calm, meditative kind of feeling that we can get into at the end of a long road once you come to that realization of what it was all about, right? So now here you have that hermit sage energy where you're kind of integrating your lessons, you're taking everything you've learned as a result of this Ten of Wands, and you're kind of absorbing it, right? You're absorbing it, and you're growing your wisdom, and you're growing your vibration as a result. Do you understand what I mean? So that's exactly the energy that's kind of your subconscious energy that's like pushing you forward. That's your forward momentum on a subconscious level. Yeah, and the Bartry, three of swords, yes. To clarify that, yes, there was a heartbreak. It was a heartbreak. But it was, again, like I said, right? So three of swords is it's cheating energy, right? So debauch, Seven of Cups, is debauch. It's too much of a good thing. It's when people are too promiscuous, when they're cheating, when they're just sleeping around and just doing whatever they want to make themselves happy. And so the love that's supposed to be pouring out is quite murky. It's not clear. It's not clean. It's not vibrant. It's kind of like, negative, depressive kind of love energy. And so that's what you had here. But debauch is like too much of lustful energy. It's not necessarily heartbreak from when, like, when you have a heartbreak from a good relationship that just happens to fall apart, or when somebody who is, generally a good person stops loving you. That type of heartbreak. That type of heartbreak where no one's really to blame. You've just fallen out of love. That's not what this is. This is the heartbreak of like very shallow relationships where there wasn't that much love there to begin with. And so again, when I say the Three of Swords is kind of wallowing energy, don't wallow in it too much. You really didn't lose that much of anything significant. Even though it feels painful, even though it's hurt your pride perhaps and it's made you feel sad, don't wallow in it too much. That would be an extreme, right? That would be like, again, like kind of going past a certain point than the card really deserves, than the energy really deserves, right? All right, here we go. Prudence. That's what I was talking about. We've got 8 of Swords and 8 of Discs. So 8 and 8, clarifying each other, talking about, like I said, limitations. So 8 of Swords, this is this energy that you were coming out of that was quite self-destructive in a little bit of a way. Kind of like, like I said, this victim card, like pretend, in a way, blaming others for your problems when it's really your own fault, when you really had, all of the solutions there. And, again, it could be that you came out of some heartbreak here that was quite foul energy, and you felt like, yeah, you might have felt a little bit like you were a victim. Like, they did this to you, they cheated on you or whatever, right? But prudence here, again, prudence, which talks about working, setting restrictions on yourself with regard to labor and work and career so that you can move forward and be prosperous. So here it's kind of like you have no boundaries, or you have no boundaries you're putting on yourself, or restrictions. You're kind of just acting out where and you see where it's getting you, and here you're realizing that the restrictions are quite good. Being prudent Being prudent is a way, is a limiting energy, right? Being prudent, holding back, reserved, being reserved, conservative. Um, that's a form of limits, but it's a form of positive limits because it allows you to focus without acting erratically and putting yourself in harm's way. So you're learning that lesson. You're coming out of that and you're learning that lesson. I think a lot of you are working right now, Cancer. You're buckling down at work, right? You could have been feeling a little bit out of control emotionally lately, a little bit too much in your feelings, and you're certainly, getting into that, whatever that work routine it is that you have, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days a week, boom, 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 your schedule. And it's like, it helps you work through some of this kind of like lingering irritation that you've had, some of this lingering pain. But it's not going to last long because you're going into this really nice love energy. Prince of Cups is coming in here. You're feeling, like I said, you're feeling confident. You're feeling very confident about projects. You're surveying your projects and making sure that, everything is being attended to, that you're doing everything you need to do, and that energy is bringing in a Prince of Cups. He sees you, right? He sees your virtue, your hard work, and he's coming in for you. Right? This is the energy of him coming in for you. Him, this could be. Now, Prince of Cups is very kind of non-committal. He's not committed necessarily. He kind of comes in with some flirtation. He comes in, with a date. He's the Don Juan. He's not necessarily the same one that was here with the Knight of Swords, right? This one is more like sweeps in and sweeps out. He may not be here next month, but right now he's great for a date. He's great for romance, right? So this could also be just how you're feeling right now, right? This could be how you're feeling right now because, again, you're being very prudent. You're on your grind. 3 of Wands is also talks about staying on your course, your vision. So it could be that right now, because Prince of Cups is not a very committed energy, although he's definitely into dating and flirting and moving around. This could be you right now, really where your head is at with regard to relationships, because I believe very much this is your person coming in here, Knight of Swords. All right. I think Prince of Cups is you. It's water energy, Cancer. Right, so this is very much you, like, this is very Cancerian energy to begin with. So, that's why I feel like this is you showing up, being open, being tender, with your emotions, but also being wary, holding back a little bit, not necessarily being committed, but being willing to like date and to be, to be soft, to be romantic and all of that. The kind of initial dating stuff, but not necessarily to commit to any one person. And here we go, defeat on top of temperance. So yeah, that 5. Again, I think this is why you're, this 5 of Swords. You've had some issues with people. You've had some falling outs. But 5 of Swords is really like a cheap win. People have done things to you that's been quite cheap, you feel. Kind of hollow victory, this whole idea, like, this na, but you won, yeah, but at what cost? You know what I mean? It's quite shallow kind of bullying energy, right? And so this temperance card, yeah, this is where you get your temperance. Could be you're just having to deal with these kind of people. Might be you've been having to deal with these kind of people at work. Right? And you just have to deal with a lot of aggravation. It could be office aggravation. It could be the nature of the work that you do. Right? But right now, you're being, like I said, you're being very prudent. You are working hard, and temperance is helping you through this, right? Now, here comes the Knight of Swords, clarified by the Princess of Swords, excuse me. So, Princess of Swords is clarifying the Knight of Swords, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is kind of like, 2 peas in a pod, right? You guys are two peas in a pod. You know, you both kind of have the same type of mentality, right? And I feel like this is how you are when you're with your person. Whereas this is exhibiting your kind of love energy in general, where your head is at with regards to dating and stuff. You're kind of like just playing the field and dating around. But this person, when this person comes in for you, you two are kind of like fighting the world together. You like, you know, you just have the same type of energy. You know, you have now Princess of Swords is a page, okay, and Knight of Swords is a knight, but um still, it, you know, it's like you, perhaps this person is a little bit older than you, but you still feel this kind of connection. You know, you guys kind of have these conversations that you feel, you know, you have so much in common, you know, that kind of energy. And certainly there could be an age difference here. You could be the younger and your partner could be older, or vice versa. But this is more about the dynamic that you have with your person who's coming in, this new love. It may not have even gotten to the point of romance yet, right? But it's just the interest is there, the spark is there, you know, the connection is there. And here he is again, coming in. Knight of Swords. You know, so Knight of Swords, this person is very dynamic. He's making a huge impression on you. And you're starting to decide if there's room for him in your life as well. Is there room for him in my life? You know, next to the Judgment card, right? Is this the one? You know, am I made for him? Is he made for me? You know, this character is looming large in your future, and in the way that you're choosing your next steps for your future, and how you see yourself and this person in it. And of course, down here, we've got some clarity on this Five of Wands. And it's like I said, I think it's hateration, because you've got love coming in. You're feeling really good. Ten of Cups is being very confident about love coming full circle, getting the whole package, having your cake and eating it too. You know, you got everything. You get you get the kid, you get the job, you get, and especially, I don't want to say you get the job and all that, because that's more a material thing, but this is more like you get sort of the perfect husband, right? So you're getting the perfect husband, perfect home life, you know, perfect lifestyle, all of that. It's making you feel very satisfied and luxurious. And I think this Five of Wands is just people who are going to be very jealous, Cancer. I just feel like this is, you know, external jealous energy coming at you. It's not anything serious, but it's like jealous bickering. You know, because when you two are together, when you and your love mate come together, it's like boom, it's fireworks. It's fireworks, and it's almost as if everybody around you can see what's going on before you even can. I'm pretty sure most people are going to realize this is an Ace of Cups situation before you even realize. You're going to be just so caught up in being with this person and being kind of enamored. And they're, by the way, just as enamored with you as you are with them at Cancer. And also, just because you're a Cancer sign, a water sign, you know... I've met plenty of Cancers that are very dynamic people, you know, love to talk, love to conversate. This is a dynamic relationship. It could be with any other sign. It could be with an earth sign, water sign, fire sign, whatever. Whoever this person is, for whatever reason, they're compatible with you. You are compatible together, right? And so that's why I don't always like to say, well, you could be dealing with this kind of sign. I'd rather say that it really doesn't matter what sign you're dealing with. What I want to say is that when you're together, the energy is air energy. It's very quick, you know, it's very quick, lightning energy. It's fast, it's talkative, it's funny, it's back and forth debate, it's adventurous. Do you know what I mean? It's very complimentary. You know, you guys kind of feed off of each other and you talk about interesting conversations. You have a lot of hobbies and interests in common, specifically, you know, and things like that, right? So even though you guys may be both very earthy or you're water and you might be another very watery sign, the passion and the energy is there when you two come together. And it's certainly everyone around you can see it. And so some people are going to not be feeling you so much because you're just going to be like, damn, they're going to be so jealous in a way almost of this kind of like wonderful love that you've got going on. All right, my lovely Cancers, this is your new love, I want to say, reading for the June new moon period, June 3rd. I'm sure some of these videos are going to actually get uploaded in the wee early morning hours of the 4th. But rest and be assured, this is the beginning of the June new moon period. All right, and wow, what a reading. If any of this resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell so you can get notified about all my videos, not just some of them. And for now, Cancer, what a beautiful reading. I want to wish you a beautiful, beautiful new moon cycle. Bye-bye.